All right, everybody, welcome to DC Comics News. We are here with our post FanDome special. I am Josh Raynor, editor in chief of DC Comics News, and I am joined by a couple of amazing people, Brad Felicki and Steve J. Ray. Brad, why don't you say hi, introduce yourself to the people who may not know you?
Hi, I'm Brad Flicky. I contribute news and reviews, DC Comics News, also part of the podcast and the Harley Quinn Mad Love podcast as well, part of the DC Comics News podcast network. And if you want, you could follow me on Twitter at FlickyB1.
All right, and Steve, how about you?
Once again, part of the wonderful DC Comics News family, editor-in-chief of Dark Knight News, and you can follow me on Twitter at elstevo, EL_STEEVO. But we want to talk to Josh. Josh, FanDome!
Yes, FanDome. Oh, man. What an event. Last year, they started this whole thing off, and it was fantastic then, and I wasn't sure what to expect this year, but I knew it was going to be great, and I was not disappointed. I'd like to get your guys' kind of overall thoughts on the show before we kind of get into each little thing that happened.
Of course, we all loved the Batman trailer. I'm sure Steve has got so much to say about that. And Josh, as we were saying before we started recording, I was really excited to see a lot more info on the Batgirl series. And I was really surprised that we got to see some footage from Naomi, which I was over the moon about because I've been really looking forward to that show as well, and more info on DMZ.
Yeah.
And I got to say, the Super Pets looks really funny. So I was glad to see some footage from that. That voice cast is pretty incredible. I love seeing another trailer for the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League game. Although I do wish there had been a little bit more gameplay, which kind of bumps me out because it makes me think that we're still kind of a long ways away from ever having that game in our hands. But it was still great to see some more footage from that. I mean, I feel like I could go on forever. So what about you, Steve?
So much. I mean, the games, obviously Gotham Knights game looks incredible as well. The news, Pennyworth Season 3, official. Titans Season 4, official. Doom Patrol Season 4, official. Sandman. Obviously, the trailer for the Batman, we're going to talk about that, so I'm going to try and keep my excitement down for a little bit. But that sneak peek at The Flash, Michael Keaton's Batman, and we all know what's under that top, don't we?
Oh, we'll be taking a look at that a little later. It'll be good to rewatch that with you guys.
Yes.
But, I loved everything that they did. I agree. I wish that there were certain things they had kind of gave us a bit more, like that game trailer. I do wish I'd gotten to see some actual gameplay, because like last year we got gameplay for Gotham Knights, and we got a trailer for the Suicide Squad game, and then I was expecting gameplay for Suicide Squad because we already got a trailer, but we didn't. We just got like a more in-depth trailer to kind of see what this game's really about. But I mean, even without the gameplay, I still really enjoyed it. So
yeah.
All right, so I want to get into some of the kind of smaller stuff first before we dive into the big stuff. We did get some stuff about the Flash TV show, including an image, the first image of Barry in his gold boots. That's right. Grant Gustin has been been apparently campaigning for these boots for a while. What'd you guys think of that?
I loved it. He was so thrilled about those boots.
Yeah, he was.
That was great, and I love to see the return of their daughter, who was kind of written out of the timeline so long ago, and I always thought that was such a sad way to see her go out. So I love the fact that she's coming back. So yeah, it looks like in that 5-part crossover event, looks like it's going to be pretty intense. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to in the Flash.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Steve?
If Brad says the boots rock, the boots rock, because he is the finicky fashion meister, and he knows what he's
true.
talking about. I mean, come on. Even with the old John Wesley Ship series, he had red boots. We needed the gold boots. We needed them, and they look sharp. Yeah, love it. Can't wait to see more. And Nora's back. Woohoo!
Yes. I love Nora on that show, so I'm real excited that she's back. So,
yeah.
What about the look for Impulse?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean,
I will.
It's real. I mean, because the stuff that I've seen from the comics of him, from that version of him, I think is real close. So I really like what they did with it. I'm intrigued to see how it will look in action. But
I will definitely say that I like it better now that I've gotten to see it a little bit more in action than we did when we got those first reveal photos. Because Steve, I think you and I might have been the ones on the podcast that time, or me and Seth, talking about how we didn't really like the Impulse design at that moment, that there was something that image was just not good that we saw. So it was kind of good to get a better vision of that.
I think it was that image. They tried to make it look like that one comic book cover with him, and it didn't look real. Like his legs were in weird positions and stuff. I think that was for me that was a big part of why I didn't like that first image.
Yeah.
But I liked what I saw from here. So
seeing it in movement is always going to be a lot better seeing it in live, because I think that was a little bit photoshopped, a little bit manipulated, that image, and it didn't quite work. But what we've seen from this little sneak peek, I'm a lot happier. Definitely.
We also got a little bit of behind the scenes footage from Sweet Tooth and an official confirmation of season 2 coming. Did you guys watch Sweet Tooth, and what are you hoping for season 2?
I haven't finished season 1 yet.
Oh, Steve, you should.
I haven't finished either. So.
Yeah, you guys got to do that because it's really good, and he's great in the role.
Yeah,
the kid. I think that was some perfect casting. So yeah, I think as far as what I would like to see in season 2, I would say bringing in more stuff from the comics. So that after they kind of get a ways into their journey a little bit, the characters that they run into, and I just finished Sweet Tooth: The Return, so I'd like to see more of kind of what's behind the scenes, pulling the strings kind of thing for season 2.
Yeah. All right. I know you said you hadn't seen it, but did you have any thoughts on the kind of the behind the scenes stuff that they showed, Steve? Any of that stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I always find that stuff fascinating. I mean, the fact that you see how they work his ears, stuff like that just blows my mind. I am the biggest one. Brad can tell you, if anyone who's heard the show knows that we both love behind the scenes and featurettes and how things were made, how things work. And we've got a ton of that with this year's FanDome, not just with Sweet Tooth, but so much behind the scenes stuff. Just rocked. Yeah, loved it. I mean, is season more or less the first series of the comic, Brad, or is there more to it?
Kind of. There's a little more to it, but there's definitely those beats that the story has to hit, like it did in the books, that you'll see.
All right, cool. I'm very, very excited for it. Steve, you already mentioned Pennyworth. Season 3 officially announced, and they said that it will be officially part of HBO Max.
Yes.
And they'll be putting seasons 1 and 2 on HBO Max early next year, with season 3 coming later on. And season 3 will have a 5-year time jump. So is this a show that either of you have watched? I have not gotten around to watching Pennyworth yet. So I'm going to let you guys talk about this.
Yeah, I have not.
Okay.
But I love the idea, though, that I'm going to be able to. I think they said in January or December they're going to put it on HBO Max. So I'm thrilled about that because I have a feeling that as soon as I can, I'll binge that. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
It's so good. It's got a little bit of surreal. There's some 60s vibe. Jack Bannon is fantastic as a young, starting off fairly ruthless Pennyworth, softening over the course of the season. You see his old SAS background, his time in the army, his family, a tragic betrayal. I mean, there's so much going for it. Yeah, I've watched, everyone's a Batman fan. Hello, how could I miss Pennyworth? But the fact that we're definitely seeing season 3 is awesome. Guys, you'll eat it. It's only like 20 episodes. You'll watch it, you'll binge it, you'll love it, and can't wait for season 3.
I'm looking forward to being able to binge through it once it hits HBO Max.
Best way to watch TV.
Yeah,
weekly.
Absolutely.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
So we also got some news that the Monkey Prince will be returning in its own series next year. What do you guys think about it? Did you like this character when it came into the comics?
You know what I thought when they announced it? I was like, well, I can't, this will be fun to talk about on the podcast, is because it'll be one of those other things where I say, yeah, you know what? This is going to go on my pull list. This is something that I'm going to be picking up.
Oh, yeah.
Because this whole, I think I've been buying almost every DC book for the past year. Since Future State. I've grabbed everything. And I think this is definitely going to go on that must list. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Even with the spinner rack, I've been buying a lot more than 5 titles.
Yep.
But I mean, did you guys in the States get the old Monkey Magic TV show back in the 70s from the old Chinese myth?
Yeah, that was before my time, and I don't know if it was a thing.
Yeah, I don't. It's more my time, but I don't remember quite honestly. Not that I know of.
It was something I was hooked on as a kid. I've even got the 7-inch single soundtrack of the title theme. And seeing this in comics, and it's so true to the old legends and myths. But the fact that he's actually an official DC Comics character as well, it's like the best of both worlds. It's my childhood TV, brand new DC comic. Yeah, I'm there. Pull list for sure. Absolutely.
Nice. All right. We also got some stuff from McFarlane Toys. Todd McFarlane came out. He talked about his new kind of team up with DC Direct. They're going to be continuing their Batman Black and White line, the Harley Quinn Black, White, and Red line. He showed off this pretty sweet Joker Purple Craze figure, and then a figure from the Batman of Robert Pattinson that looked awesome. What were you guys' thoughts on what McFarlane showed off?
Man. Toys are something I live vicariously through other people, and I just look at those and I think, God, the people that are into these are probably drooling right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just the detail. I always look at McFarlane Toys as the action figures that I wanted when I was growing up and didn't have the attention to detail. That's never gone away for however many years now that McFarlane's making toys, and the detail on this is just amazing. And I love the idea of having the Harley Quinn was a red white line. I love it.
I mean, the stuff we see from McFarlane, the stuff we see from Sideshow, the detail, the accuracy, I mean, the actual feeling and honestly atmosphere you get from some of these pieces is just mind-blowing. That Robert Pattinson, the Batman figure, I mean, you could just stare at that thing all day and see a new detail about it. It's unbelievable. So, match made in heaven. DC and McFarlane Toys, there could be no better collaboration. I mean, DC Direct were awesome, now don't get me wrong. But like Brad said, the figures that McFarlane's producing, now statues too, damn, and come on, the cape on that Batman Year 2 figure.
Oh, yeah.
For real. Unbelievable. Can't wait to get my hands on some of that stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%. It'll probably be breaking my pocketbook, but
yep. Oh yeah.
But you know,
I don't need 2 kidneys.
You'll be good. We also got a concept art trailer for Bat Wheels, a new kids animated show. What are you guys' thoughts on this? I'm not 100% sure because we haven't really, because like I said, it was just concept art, really. I really want to see what the final animation is going to look like and everything. Because animation, it can get tricky depending on how, because like some of their stuff is great. And then we got that new Aquaman show, which I'm not liking that animation for personally. So I don't know. What are you guys thinking so far?
Steve and I talked at length about our issues with that Aquaman animation, and I still haven't checked it out. I think it hit this weekend, but I'm still on the fence because I just have to. Nothing that I've seen so far has sold me on it quite yet. And I'm still on the fence with the Bat Wheels thing because, from what it looks like to me, it might be too kiddie for me. I can watch the occasional cartoon, but that might be too a little
preschool show. So
Yeah,
like,
that's true. It is. So I don't know, but I like the designs are cute, and I think kids will love it. I could see them.
I'm sure my kid will love
the
it.
Toys. Yeah.
But whether or not I like Teen Titans Go, but I think this will be a little too young for me. But we'll see. I guess who knows.
As a gigantic kid and a fan of Disney's cars, I just want to see a talking, sentient Batmobile and all the other stuff. So I'll give it a try. I mean, I'll give Aquaman a try, even though I wasn't sold. But I do like, now that I've actually heard and seen some of the voices in action, that he seems to be halfway between like Jason Momoa's Aquaman and the Aquaman from the Brave and the Bold animated series, who I adored. So yeah, I'll give it a go. It doesn't look like my cup of tea because it seems so Thundercats, and I hated the new Thundercats.
Yeah,
actually growing up with the real Thundercats, but I want to watch Batwheels. Yeah.
I mean, I'll check it out whenever it drops. But
you've got the excuse, you watch it for your kid. But,
that's true.
Really.
And I'm sorry to do this, guys, but I think a little bit of a time crunch, so I'm gonna jump. But I just really wanted to get on and at least talk a little bit about it with you guys, because I know we've been all looking forward to this so long, so we've been dying to chat about it. So glad I was at least able to talk to you a little bit.
I'm sure we'll talk more and more about it later at some other time as well.
Yeah.
So
anytime I get with you is special. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Take care and happy FanDome Day.
Send my love to NY.
Yeah, will do. Bye.
Bye. All right, Steve, it's just you and me now.
The dynamic duo.
That's right, and we're gonna talk about some more stuff here. So Jim Lee talked about some Superman stuff. Talked a little bit about Warworld. Talked about Superman, Son of Kal-El. And also revealed something interesting, at least I thought was pretty darn interesting, that they have officially changed Superman's motto. It used to be truth, justice, and the American way. It is now truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. What are your thoughts on them officially changing this motto here?
I mean, even though I'm over the pond, truth, justice, and the American way is something that I've known my entire life. 50 plus years of it. So it is a bit of a change. It is a bit of a departure, but let's be real here, that for people all over the world, that phrase is a little more inclusive, a little more forward thinking, a little more global. So can't argue against it. I mean, will I miss the old one? Sure, because I've had it my entire life. But for kids growing up now, we're one world, and that's something that's really important for everyone to see, I think.
Yeah. I loved that they did this. I've always thought that the old motto, like you said, it's too exclusionary for the rest of the world, and Superman's not even from here. He may live in America, but he's not from here. He's an immigrant, and that's and so I've always felt that it should be more inclusive, and I love that they're finally making that official. It's real nice to see. I'm excited for it. All right, let's see. We also got Winston Duke came on, talked about the new Spotify audio podcast, Batman Unburied. I didn't know much about this this audio podcast. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, we've been talking about it a lot, obviously, on the show, on the podcast weekly. And to get a more, because I mean, while I love the HBO Max Batman audio adventures we've been getting, it's very light, breezy, comedic, which is awesome, because that's a great thing about the Batman character and his universe. It's so adaptable. This sounds a lot more down to earth, a lot more dark, a lot more gritty, a lot more what I love about the Batman character, a lot more street level. And as soon as he finished his little bit and he said, "And I am Batman," I thought, oh yeah, I'm so glad I had my Spotify premium subscription. I'm there.
Nice.
Day one.
I'm excited to check it out. I don't know what to expect from it, but I like the idea of Winston Duke as Batman. I think that'll be really cool to kind of hear what he brings to it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for it.
Absolutely.
All right. So that's all the smaller stuff that I had. I think now I'd like to get into some of the big stuff. And we're going to start off with Black Adam.
Oh, finally.
All right. So, Black Hat, we finally got our first kind of real good glimpse of this movie. They started off with a behind the scenes featurette talking about some of the other characters in it. We got Cyclone, Atom Smasher, Hawkman, and Dr. Fate. The actors were all talking about, their characters a little bit. And then we got The Rock giving us our first full glimpse of the opening scene of this movie. And I want to take a look at it with you, if
please.
that sounds good to you.
Oh, yeah.
Because I loved this thing, and I'm excited to watch it with you. So let's give this a watch. All right. Yeah.
She's out.
It's never a good idea to read stuff like that. I'm just saying. Never.
Did they learn nothing from Evil Dead?
Right? Come on, guys.
And here he is.
Yes.
Extra crispy.
Right? Yeah. They're not holding back, and I love it.
No. I mean, this is so different to Shazam, isn't it?
Yeah. I love that he does that. They do the like, Superman bullet catch.
Yeah. Well, this guy's like Superman. Finally. Oh man, the summer cannot come quick enough. Seriously, watching this movie go through 79 types of development hell over the last 11, 12 years, it's worth it for that. Personally, I think. I mean, The Rock, hey, wrestling nerd, my brother, we both are.
Absolutely.
Everything I wanted it to be. I can't fault that sneak peek. Love it.
Yeah, he looks fantastic in this scene here. The darkness it's really putting out a real almost horror vibe, which I love. That's some of to me was some of the best parts of Shazam. Was the horror kind of elements that they put into it. Even though I loved all the like comedic stuff as well, but I like the horror stuff really hit for me. And him frying that dude and his just like skeleton kind of going to dust. I was like, that is kind of movie I am excited to see. So I'm pretty pumped. Yeah, it comes out I think in July of next year. Man, I wish it was sooner, but I will be anticipating quite.
We've waited 10, 11 years. I think another 7 or 8 months we can just about manage.
Yeah, probably. We've got a lot of other stuff coming too, so I think we'll have a lot of things to keep us busy while we wait for that one. We also got a behind-the-scenes featurette for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Oh, yes.
Showed a lot of cool stuff there. We got some cool concept art in that one. We got
Aquaman on a giant seahorse.
Yes, I was literally going to say we got Aquaman on a giant seahorse. And that sold me, man. Just getting to see him on that. I was like, yes.
Super friends forever.
Absolutely. I was fun. What did you think of kind of all the little bits that they showed from it? We didn't really get like a trailer or teaser or anything like that for it, but we got a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff.
Hey, I'm just glad they're forwarding the momentum of Black Manta, because one of the parts I loved about the first Aquaman movie was when we first meet him, he's almost like Aquaman just makes him look stupid and ends up having his father die. But every appearance he makes throughout the course of the film, he becomes more and more and more of a threat. So to see that progress with the second movie, I'm hoping that by the time the third movie comes along, Black Manta is the main adversary, because for me in the comics, he was always more of an enemy for Arthur than his own brother ever was. So I do want to see that character development and that whole relationship grow over the course of these films. So that part of it really has me excited. Definitely.
Yeah. I love that it has more of like a fantastical kind of epic feel to it than the first one did.
Yeah.
You know, we have a lot more stuff really dealing with the world of Aquaman as opposed to like more surface level, surface stuff. And seeing like some of the fight choreography going on that they were showing for the behind the scenes stuff, I'm like, this thing's going to be even more action packed than that first one. And I'm so there for it.
And if we see more of Atlantis and more of the other kingdoms, including this lost kingdom that we don't know really much about, so much can happen in this film. And the first one, I mean, it's the most successful DC movie ever. So if this carries on that trend, and hopefully we get to see a few more vintage James Wan, like you said with Black Adam, some horror moments like we had with the trench in the first film. That kind of stuff is what really moves the film and makes it more operatic. It's not just a one beat superhero movie. It's going to have action, darkness, comedy, and that's what will make this film special. So I can't wait. Absolutely.
Yeah. And speaking of Aquaman, we did get to see a clip from the animated series for Aquaman King of Atlantis, which, again, I don't like the actual animation of it, but I will say I did not know it was only going to be 3 parts, like a mini series.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
I thought it was an actual like show. So I'm more inclined to check it out, as it's like, okay, it's just these 3 parts. I can get through that.
Yeah. It's going to be like they did with Hellblazer, that they're going to edit it into one movie for the video release. So I can live with that.
What did you think of the little clip that they showed?
Like I said, I mean, the style of it, I'm in totally agreement with yourself, Josh. It's not my scene. I like my superheroes to like superheroes, not like Powerpuff Girls. They're the only superheroes I can see in that style and like. But hearing the voice and seeing some of the actual story did alleviate some of my fears, and I do like the characterization. He's a little bit more like the comics and a little bit more like we said earlier, the Brave and the Bold Aquaman. Yeah. He's a king. So yeah, as it's 3 episodes, it's not like 20. I'll give it a go. Absolutely. I'll try anything. I'm not one of these people who say, oh no, I don't like the look of that, I won't watch it. No, I'll give everything a chance. And if then I don't like it, I just won't watch it again.
Fair enough. I mean, outside of the animation, the only issue I had other than that was he seemed to be a little whiny in this clip that they showed. I don't know if that's going to be a running thing throughout. I hope not. But he did really seem kind of whiny in this one. I did laugh at how they kind of leaned on the fish joke, though.
Yes. That was my favorite part of the whole thing, if I'm honest. I liked that bit a lot.
Because like in the Snyder version, they kind of made a joke on the other side of the whole fish talking thing, and I love that they really just leaned hard into it in this. So I'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes.
Well, we talked about it on the podcast, on the weekly podcast, especially Brad and I, where we said that people knock that ability. Oh, you talk to fish. Think about how much aquatic life is out there. He doesn't just talk to them. He understands them. He can command them. That's the biggest army on Earth. So don't knock the fish guy. That's some serious power.
I remember like a splash page, and I don't remember what issue it was, but it was just Aquaman and just a ton of sharks just coming up behind him. And I'm just like, that's what I'm talking about right there. I want to see that in a movie or something, He's just like, just bring it. That could be some horrific stuff, and I would love it.
Yes.
All right. Next, we got some Milestone Media news, which I loved this little, I guess, mini panel, I guess you could call it. Had Reggie Hudlin and Dennis Cowan there talking kind of about like what Milestone is and kind of why it's important, why it was and why it is important. And they revealed that a Milestone Comics crossover kind of a thing will be happening. It will become an interconnected universe, which I thought was awesome to hear, because there was a lot of question about whether or not the comics would actually cross into one another. and it's going to happen. And season 2s are coming.
Yes.
And they also revealed that the Blood Syndicate will be coming back in 2022. They dropped a whole lot of news here, man. So they're releasing a compendium, 1,300 pages, collecting the first runs of the original comics. And this is just their first volume. They're going to do more. They also have a Black History Month book in the works, as well as 2 movies. The Static movie, which has already been announced, as well as a milestone animated film, which will incorporate multiple characters being written by Brandon Thomas. And they are also launching a program in conjunction with Next Generation DC to create the Milestone Initiative to bring more diverse writers and artists and things like that into the comics industry. So I just threw a lot at you there, Steve, but I'd like to get your thoughts on all this.
I don't think you threw a lot at me. All I heard there was good news. That's
all
I heard coming out of your mouth. Good news. I mean, let's be real here. I mean, I don't know if you remember Milestone from back in the day, the original. It was heartbreaking when it ended. But obviously, I've tried to catch up as much of it as I can. And to finally hear that they're collecting the entire lot in one big fat book, because I said, there goes another kidney, but hey, you know, I'll just live on life support.
I don't know if my bookshelf can hold that thing. It'll have to sit on the bottom.
That can be a coffee table edition. You can actually use the book as your coffee table.
Right? 1,300 pages. Whew.
Man.
Yeah, I'm excited though.
And Dennis Cowan, I mean, what can you say about him? He's one of those guys who needs to be in like a Hall of Fame level. His work on The Question, his work on the original Milestone, the fact that he helped create the Milestone universe. Dude, I rewatched the recent behind-the-scenes comics documentary, the Robert Kirkman series.
Oh, yeah,
and it had a whole episode on the Milestone universe.
Secret History of Comics?
Secret History of Comics, that's the one.
Yeah.
So seeing that and now this, and the fact that, okay, static live action already hyped, I'm there. But the second animated movie with all the characters, by the looks of things, by the preview poster they showed at FanDome, it's going to have the whole range of characters in that. Milestone is back, and hopefully, dear Lord, it's here to stay this time. So, Joshua, you threw a lot at me, but it's all positive. I mean, what was your takeaway? What did you think of it?
Yeah, I'm really excited. When they first announced that Milestone was coming back, I mean, they announced this back in like 17 or 18 or something like that.
Originally, yeah.
And like it felt like it took forever for anything to actually happen. And so we were just sitting on it. And I'm like, when is this going to happen? Because like I read some of I didn't read a lot of them when I was a kid, but like I fell in love with that Static Shock TV show when I was younger. And like that kind of got me more into that world and checking out more of that. And so when I heard that they were going to be bringing this back, I got super excited, and then it just took forever. But like the Static season 1 comic is fantastic. So it is so good. And if you guys aren't reading it, I highly recommend checking that out. And so knowing that we're getting season 2s, and they're going to be weaving these different characters into these books in doing crossover events and things the way you get with the normal DC stuff. I am super excited to see what they bring to it. Because
that was the only thing that was missing from the current run of season 1s is the fact that it's Milestone universe, but it's Milestone separate stories. Yeah. And it's the fact that it's going to be a universe, a cohesive universe where the characters interact. Dude, can't wait.
Oh, yeah. I'm super, super excited for that. All right. Next up, we've got Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. And we got a new trailer for it, which we're going to take a look at right now. All right.
All of you are the worst of the worst of the worst. Still, you're good at what you do, even if what you do is far from good. Welcome to Task Force X.
I love the music.
Yeah. That's a good mix of the old animated ones.
Let me take a look at you. A musclehead.
Yeah.
A nut job. something that offends my eyes, and a homeless person.
Is that Gizmo?
What's up, Gizmo?
Just checking. We're all seeing that thing, right?
This has one-way ticket written all over it.
Oi, what? What the hell have you sent us into? It's a bloody war zone out here.
Eyes up, people.
Congratulations, Task Force Act. You're the first assets to make it into Metropolis alive.
Right, to make it into Metropolis alive, so what the hell has happened in Metropolis?
I was
And
just
that does look
about
like
to
a javelin,
do that.
even though Flula Boo said he wasn't in this thing.
I feel like he's
Task
like
Force X.
teasing all that. Even,
Your
you know
new
what I mean?
mission
Because he made a big deal about not being in it.
Justice League.
Yeah.
Did that look like a javelin? Now here's the thing. This is the bit that's got me excited. Have these Justice League been possessed by the anti-life equation or something? Because they look zombified, they look evil, and now I know why the Suicide Squad are after them. I mean, they don't stand a chance in hell.
Take a hand at taking on the Justice League is the worst idea you've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of zoned out.
Yeah, I kind of zoned out.
What did you think
What's
would happen?
happened to them?
You'd crawl out of your cells, swoop in, save the day. Which superheroes did you say you were again?
Remember, your heads are ticking.
Your head's a ticket. Feeling headache. 101.
He's not gonna make it.
I'm gonna read.
He's not a hero.
Waller, the penguin is in flight. Repeat, the penguin is in flight.
I love this scene.
Then let's clip his wings.
Shocking
Oh
behavior.
my God,
Yeah.
he's getting up.
Hitting him again.
He ran out the door. Somebody stop him.
Did that get him?
No, it very much did not get him. Waller, blow up his head.
Yeah, baby. I mean, what's
I
not
don't
to
know
like about
if
that
it's
scene?
just me, but that version of King Shark kind of sounded like Batista. I don't
Yes.
know. It just did. I don't know who's voicing him, but to me, I was like, it sounded like Batista doing like it's Drax almost. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was kind
And
of
the same kind of humor and complete ironic lack of irony.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And it works with both what we've seen in animation with King Shark and the latest version Stallone played in the film. So, yeah, I mean, I wish I had time to play video games, but I don't. So when I get to see my son have marathon sessions on the Arkham games, I know he's going to get this. He's already said he's getting Gotham Knights. So, yeah, I'll watch those, and it'll be like watching a movie and watching him play. These kids, I can't compete with that.
right.
I mean, are you a game player?
I mean, I used to do a lot more gaming. Then there was a long period of time where I didn't do any. And then just recently I got a Switch. And so like I've kind of been doing a little bit more. If I'm not sure if either of these are going to be available on the Switch. If so, I might get them because they look really good. Cool. Yeah. So it looks really, really exciting. All right. After this, they went and showed some Peacemaker footage.
Oh man.
Talking about Suicide Squad. I mean, we got to talk about Peacemaker. They started off with a behind the scenes featurette, had the cast talking about the show. They took some fan questions as well. And then they showed the teaser. And we got to watch that one.
Oh yeah.
This teaser is incredible.
Vigilante, the costume.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Let me get that all squared up, and we will watch this trailer.
Oh, happy to watch this again.
And there you go. You get John Cena's butt right there for you.
All
right.
Jamil, you cool?
What does that mean?
Truth is,
what does
supposed
that
to be in
mean?
prison.
For what?
Superhero stuff.
What superhero are you?
Peacemaker.
Get out superhero. There's no superhero called Peacemaker.
Dude, I'm famous.
I do like that it seems to be picking up right after that end credit scene.
You're a
him in the
born killer
hospital.
with expertise and every weapon known to humankind.
But apparently, we're going to see some of these backgrounds.
Give me the chance to stay out of prison and work for me.
And what happened before as well.
This is hardcore.
Hardcore. The fact that hardcore's
You're
in
handling
this.
in the field.
Yeah.
Love the
Autonomous
character.
tech and tactics.
Comic service is great.
And this is our new recruit, the Debayo.
You don't have to shoot people after you already killed them.
Right. Who's the guy who's peeking out behind the
Yes.
desk?
He's trying to be helpful.
He's just trying to be helpful.
Our first target is Senator Roland Goff. Goff may be traveling with his family.
Are you sure those two kids came out of those parents? That's an attractive couple. That one looks like it came out of them, but the other one looks like a butt baby.
A butt baby.
Yeah, my older brother told me there's two types of babies. They come out of and then butt babies. Worse in every way. They come out of a woman's
He's
butt.
like a 11-year-old in a man's
Butt baby
body, isn't he?
was like 14.
Yeah,
He's like-
he really is.
The anti-Shazam.
John Cena does it perfectly.
About him that's
Oh, he's
sad.
perfect.
Hey, Dad.
Yes.
And T-1000 is his father.
No, lately I'm just thinking.
Yeah, and I love that. It's incredible.
That's because we're born killers. What separates us from other
Is that
killers
Kite
we
Man?
only
Because I'm
kill
just
bad
saying,
people.
his outfit
Yes.
looked a little like
That's
Kite Man.
Exactly what I was thinking. Look at it.
You use
It's-
being a
oh,
jerk
yeah.
as a way to
Right?
push people away.
You suck at PowerPoint.
But if you would just drop that,
Oh, you suck.
people
PowerPoint.
actually might like you.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know,
I
man.
think you're right, you know. Oh, this drop.
Oh,
Worst superhero ever. I
I
do
just have a
like
feel
this
of the eagle.
superhero getting his butt ripped. Oh,
Oh my God.
the eagle.
He's hugging me.
He's hugging me. Dad, grab my phone. I don't want to move. Dad.
So I love the Suicide Squad and what I've seen of this show, particularly after that. I can't wait. I'm
Yeah.
gonna laugh my butt off every single episode. I hope it all drops rather than weekly. That's the one thing about HBO Max which is annoying, is the fact that it's aired on a weekly basis. I need to binge this kind of stuff, and when it drops weekly, the spoilers are just so evil that you have to watch it weekly. But then, hey, then you've got the excuse of being able to watch the whole season again when it ends. But so
It's true.
I just be glasses half full.
It's true. I have a feeling that we're gonna see so many like D-list characters in this show that we never expect
Please,
to see.
God.
You
Yes,
know,
please.
I really, because like there are characters that we don't know. Like there's some random character in like an all-white suit in a car that gets hit. I don't know who it's supposed to be, but it's got to be somebody. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he's not just gonna be just making up weird random things just to do it. I feel like he's gonna dig deep into the mythos of DC and pull out some people. I really hope that is Kite Man.
He's that kind of writer director. I mean, have you been reading Suicide Squad recently? The current run.
I'm a bit
brought
behind,
back Ambush,
but
they brought back Ambush.
I
Buck.
saw
That's all
I
have to say.
saw that he was in there. Yeah.
If they can get Ambush Buck in the live action, that's it. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. I need to see this.
I think this show might be a perfect opportunity for it. I'm just saying.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, if any place is gonna do it, I think it might be here. Yeah, we'll see.
Condiment King, you heard it.
Yeah.
Here first.
Yes, please. I mean, we got Calendar Man in the movie for like a quick second.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets out and does. Maybe they do something with him. That could be neat. I'd like to see that.
Amazing. Absolutely crazy quilt.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be down with all of it.
Gentleman Ghost. Who knows?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
I would love
that. I
that
would like
so much. So they went on to talk a bit about like some. I think they called it the Superman TV universe. Something, even though I was like, these are really most of these are just Arrowverse shows. Don't be trying to give it new names, but they started off with Superman and Lois, and they gave us a little behind the scenes featurette of their first day back on set for season 2. Did you watch season 1?
I haven't finished it. I'm watching it and I'm liking it, apart from one thing which really annoyed me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, how far have you got? Have you finished the season?
Yeah. I've watched it.
The whole Morgan Edge thing.
I get it.
No, why? I mean, that's as our good friend Matt B. Lloyd would say. Why do a Bendis on the show? Why make up things that aren't real? Just stop. But the rest of it, I mean, I love Bitsy Tulloch. I've adored her forever, through Grimm especially.
Yes.
The lady is great. She's a perfect Lois, just the right amount of vulnerability, sass, and badassery. I mean, the woman is the perfect Lois Lane. I love her. And from that pilot with the 2 kids and it being Jordan that has the powers, not Jonathan, great twist, lovely surprise. The production, I mean, is it me or does this show just look a little bit more polished and a little bit better put together than most of the other shows?
I feel like they may have put more money into this specific show than most of their others.
Yeah.
I really do.
That's the impression I get too. So I'm thinking that this whole Superman universe thing that they've got going on is that this show is now the main focus. This is like the new Arrow. This is the one that's leading the pack. And because it's Superman, I can't argue with that.
I mean, we lost Arrow. Supergirl's ending. I'm sure Flash won't be on. I mean, it's going into season 8. I feel like it's not going to be around that much longer. So
it can't go longer than Arrow, surely. I mean,
probably not. So I wouldn't be surprised if it ends after that season. And Superman and Lois is just starting. So I feel like it's going to be kind of spawning its own new set of shows, and we'll see what all they do. Speaking of Supergirl, they did a little bit of stuff with Supergirl. They had a nice little kind of like cast chat round, not really a table. There was no table there. It was like a little mini panel almost. They're just sitting on set and kind of talking about their favorite memories. One of my favorite parts of this whole thing was Jesse Rath in his full green face makeup. And wig, he's because they're on set, and so he's still in his makeup. I thought that was awesome.
Absolutely. And hey, do we not need a whole season of cloth magic?
Right? I'd be totally down.
I would watch the shit out of that.
I want to see all their cloth magic. They need to put that like on the like the final season Blu-ray.
Needs to be. Or in the box set they do of this. Yeah, absolutely.
That would be an instant buy.
I'm going to search the internet for more of that stuff. Seriously, I need to see more cloth magic. We also too much fun making these shows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. They have tons of fun. We also got some Stargirl stuff. They did an end of season teaser. What'd you think of this? Did you like Stargirl? What were your thoughts on it?
Stargirl was a show I thought, really? Is that the way you're going? And as soon as I watched it, I fell in love with it. I honestly do think it's one of the best superhero shows on TV because unlike some of the others, this show feels to me more like an actual comic book brought to life. It's everything that Jeff Johns did in his own series, tied in with James Robinson's Starman, with some great production values, a stellar cast. And I love Stargirl. I think that series is absolutely awesome. And that whole thing in the shadow dimension, in the shades dimension, and seeing that Dr. Midnight is there, alive. He was just trapped for decades. I mean, dude, I cannot wait. And the fact that we are going to be getting more as well. Stargirl to me was one of those shows I didn't know I wanted until I saw it. Love it.
Yeah. There was a lot of people who were like kind of bagging on like the costumes and stuff when they first revealed them. And I'm like, I loved the look of these costumes, you know. They didn't look, I mean, they look comic accurate, and to some people maybe that seems cheesy, but I thought it was perfect. I don't know. I absolutely loved all that stuff. So All right, and they talked about one other thing in this section of it, and that was the new animated series coming up, My Adventures with Superman, and they dropped some artwork.
Yes, indeed.
From this show. We'll take a quick look at it here.
Very cool. I love those designs. But you can still tell exactly who you're looking at.
Yeah, I love it. I'm really excited to get a Superman show that's different from what we're kind of used to, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most about it. Is it's not just going to be the same old kind of stuff.
Oh no,
And
I mean, the whole aesthetic's so fresh, so vibrant. But I love talking to you because you're one of these guys who knows what they're talking about. How do you feel about? I mean, this is clearly, to me, a series that seems to be aimed at a slightly younger audience, whereas what really surprised me with the new Batman animated series is that's going full on edgy adult. So how do you feel about that whole contrast and different styles? I mean, to me, it's just things it's going to bring in a wider, different, more varied audience. I mean, I think that's really clever. But
yeah, that's what I like. I love because like I know a lot of people are like, we want the animated stuff for us, like the original Teen Titans and Young Justice. And I love that stuff. But like Teen Titans Go and like when like the Super Pets show or like Crypto Superdog was on, those I think are equally important.
Absolutely.
Because it gets younger kids into comics. Like my 6-year-old daughter has been watching Teen Titans Go since she was like 3. Amazing. And she loves them. And so like, and she's super into comics and DC and stuff, and Batman's her favorite. And so like it really helps to get these kids locked in early into this amazing art form in different ways. Like I think I was what, 8 when Batman the Animated Series came out, and that's when I got locked in to DC, was that show. And so hooking kids at a younger age, I think is very important. That's why, like, I'm not going to say, oh, you shouldn't do this Aquaman show. Exactly. It's just, it may not be for me, but it'll hook other kids and they'll appreciate Aquaman and they'll start to love DC. The same with like that Batwheels show. It'll bring kids in, it'll hook them. And the same with this. And it seems like to me, at least with the artwork, it's aimed at like a young teen, like a tweens kind of,
too, yeah.
And I think that, because there are a lot of things for like under 10, and then there's a lot for the older, teenagers and adults. I think that young teen area is a good place to capitalize, and I like that. That's what it's doing.
Absolutely, yeah. Everything. Same mind, brother. Same mind. That's what I love about DC. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Marvel mark as well. I love Marvel comics. I grew up with Marvel comics. But getting into those is so much harder. It's all about events and crossovers and buying 20 books, which kid can afford that? The fact that DC had like Wonder Comics, the fact they've got the young adult graphic novels, the fact they've got Black Label, they've got ranges of comics for everybody. And you can literally go out and pick up a volume 1 of the pre-crisis era, the rebirth era, the new 52 era, and read whichever style you like.
Yeah.
So I just think DC just make it easier to be a fan, easier to become a fan. So having a darker Batman series and this what looks beautiful, this new My Adventures in Superman animated series with like the My Adventures with in the old Jimmy Olsen style over the Superman logo.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And theoretically, they could take that and kind of spin it into almost like a franchise. You could have My Adventures with Wonder Woman, My Adventures with Green Lantern, My Adventures with Blue Beetle. You could do all kinds of stuff if they wanted to, and kind of make their own universe in that, that's built off of the Superman show, and have them come in and out of these shows if they choose to. They can, because that title works for it. It really does. Just like how you had Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series, and they were tied together. It was easy to know, and they used that same animation style. They could do the same here if they wanted to.
The whole universe waiting to happen. Can't wait.
Yeah. Speaking of animated stuff, we got a little teaser trailer for League of Super Pets. And we are gonna watch that because I want to see it again.
My own super pet was running around at the beginning of this cast.
Yeah.
we know that I'm
oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I was kind of off screen doing something. But I did peek in and get a quick glimpse. All right, we got some crypto here, ready to go. All right. Yeah.
League of
Super Pet.
I love it. Perfect. Hey. Pets. Plural. You ever heard of a league with one dude in it? I haven't. Well, they say
Kevin Hart as Ace the
you're
Bat.
the league of your own, all right.
I wasn't
At
sure.
first,
I
I thought
love it.
They
Next summer,
cast
Dwayne Johnson as
wrong,
Crypto.
but no.
Yeah, you would have thought that. Squirrel, turtle, pig.
Kevin Hart as Ace.
How much did you have to drink?
Oh, look at that cast! Come on!
Right?
What? I mean, are we going to see Streaky? Are we going to see Beppo? Are we going to see Comet? And
yeah, I don't know.
The whole thing.
I'm hoping that because like maybe I missed it in the comics, but I don't know who the pig is. Do you know who the pig is?
No.
Because I hope that when we get this
Comet
trailer next month, that we get to learn who these other pets are. Like, is the squirrel a Chip or Badge? You know what I mean? From the Green Lantern Corps. That would be kind of awesome.
Ooh.
I don't know who has a turtle or the pig, but I want to know. So I'm hoping we find out these things. I kind of want an appearance by Bat Cow at some point in this thing, because that would be hilarious.
I love Bat Cow.
How awesome would that be?
I lost my mind seeing Bat Cow in one tiny little picture in the Spotlight on Gotham book that came out from Sideshow recently.
Nice, yeah.
I went, yay, Bat Cow! Oh, amazing. But yeah,
Streaky. I think you gotta have Streaky, and I'm wondering if they're saving that for the main trailer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Because come on, I mean, I love dogs, I love horses, pigs, rabbits, squirrels, everything. But you can't have dogs and not have Streaky the cat. Come on, please. Let's show diversity in every range, and not just humans, animals too. Let this lead to a Captain Carrot and Zoo Crew movie.
Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping we get to see like Dexstar, bring in some villain animals.
Red
I want to see, I want to see some different stuff. And
Clarion,
I'm excited for all of it. We get what's the octopus from Aquaman?
Yes.
I know it's got a name. I can't remember what the heck its name is, but we could totally get that. There's so many possibilities for this thing. I'm pumped for it. I didn't think I would be so pumped for a League of Super Pets movie, but I really am.
As soon as I heard The Rock was involved, I said, yeah, okay, DC, just take my money.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like all the way. All right. So that was, more kid friendly. Our next one, not so kid friendly, and that is Doom Patrol. Yes, and we got a little teaser trailer for the end of the season. I want to play this one for one specific reason. There's a character that I spotted, and I want to see if I'm correct and your thoughts on it. Let's take a look.
Let's do this.
See if you spot it as well. Okay, get that set up here. Boom. Gotta love doing things live, Steve. All right, here we go. Candle maker.
In
here
this
we are.
world that they're keeping an eye on, and in my death, I must now place that burden upon your shoulders.
Arrival imminent.
Come on, Kay. How am I supposed to fix this alone?
My tech is part of who I am.
It's got nothing to do with who you are.
I think there's something he needs to show me.
I want to be a better person. What am I doing?
She must be
Mansoor
eliminated.
Malik.
Yes.
He appeared
And the
to be
brain.
dead.
Yeah.
Very ugly, set to a curse.
So
and it
excited
needs
for that.
to be stopped. Who is the Sisterhood of Dada? Insidious, cutthroat, terrorists.
How does this crap keep happening to us?
You're all the way through the looking glass.
Hello, butt monster.
There's no turning back.
I mean, the fact that those walking
something
butts
weird
have
going
teeth,
on
is that
with
teeth
you.
and butt munchers?
Why am I here?
They are coming for us.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like that.
Giant robot.
When one expels a parasite, there is really only one reasonable response.
Give it a name?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, man.
I
Plus the
absolutely love Doom Patrol. It's probably my favorite current DC series.
It's actually possibly my favorite series, full stop.
Wow.
I listen, I love it because it's so, you can't call it. If you've read the comics or not, you do not know what the hell is going to happen.
Yeah.
Episode to episode. It's
so true.
Awesome. And as Doctor Who fans, the two of us, seeing Michelle Gomez, who I adore.
Yeah.
Even in
I was so excited when they announced her.
Oh man, perfect casting for Madame Rich. Perfect. So
I don't remember them saying that Mansoor Mala was going to be in this show.
Oh, we've been talking
that
about
was
it on the podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I must have missed that.
You see the brain as well. The brain's going to be in it too.
Because when I saw him, I was like, that was a shock for me, and I was super excited.
Oh wow! So you got a lovely surprise there.
Yeah, because it's not a character that is really talked about much. Like Grodd is talked about, you know what I mean? But Mala gets no love at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
And
like
he came
like,
first, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. I like playing with him because I have the Lego DC Supervillains game.
Yeah,
and he's in that, and I love using him over Grodd. It's
he's
fun.
the most underused gorilla character in DC. I mean, even the Ultra Humanite gets a lot more love than he does. So fantastic. I mean, plus the fact that he wears a beret. Come on, an ape in a beret is cool.
Yes. Yeah.
It's that simple.
So when I saw that, I was like, yes.
Brilliant.
I don't know where this season is gonna go, but I'm here for it. Because we got the Sisterhood, we've got the was it the Dead Boy Detectives, right?
Yes.
Aren't they coming into this season as well? That now the Brain and Mala. I'm like, I don't know what is going on in this season, but I'm here for it. It's going to be wild, and that's what I love.
As soon as we got Danny the Street, I thought they're going all out. They're literally
they can
throwing caution to the wind. I thought there's no way this show could be as wacky as the comics. In places, it's wackier. Flex Mentallo, please. Oh, I love this show so much.
Yeah, Flex was great.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
All right, so our next one is a big one.
Yes.
And I hope you're ready to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's The Flash.
Oh my! That teaser. Honestly, I know I was looking forward to the trailer for the Batman.
Yeah.
But this teaser with 2 Ezra Miller Flashes, clearly Michael Keaton.
Dude, Supergirl is in it.
Goosebumps.
Yeah. You want to watch it? Because we can watch it.
Please. Who do I have to kill?
I
need to see this again.
I'll get a list.
To see this again. And for people who haven't seen it,
yeah, if you haven't seen it, stay tuned because we're about to watch it. I hope you guys are ready.
Magic.
Yeah. All right. Here we are. The Flash teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Tell me something.
Whose voice is that?
You can go anywhere you want, right? Any timeline.
And that house.
Any universe.
Like Keaton doing some narration.
Goldberg?
Yes.
Gustin is jealous.
Why do you want to stay? Fight to save this one.
Oh, this scene, man, is gonna be. Oh.
You changed the future. And you changed the past.
awesome. I'd love to hear Seth's thoughts on that as the main Flash fan of the team. My boy.
Supergirl.
Are you in? It's who in? We know what's there.
Oh, yeah.
We know what it is.
Holy
His reaction. Holy.
That was one of the whole highlights for me of all of FanDome. I mean, FanDome killed it this year. It was great last year, but it killed it this year. But that, I was not ready for.
And
Even though I knew Michael
at the
Keaton
midway
was gonna
point,
be
really,
in
it was kind of toward the middle of
man.
the event. I think they knew they needed something in the middle that was going to blow people away, and then
2 hours
they'd be able
in,
to
you
get
think,
them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we knew Michael Keaton was going to be in it. We've been talking for weeks on the show. Is it a cameo? Is he just going to make a brief appearance? But the way he's used in this trailer, honestly, goosebumps. As someone who was like 19 when that movie came out, and I was just starting to drift away from comics, that movie dragged me back in. Vertigo dragged me back in. Milestone dragged me back in. This, for everyone of our generation who grew up with Michael Keaton's Batman, dude.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait till we get like a bigger trailer where we actually get to see him. I'm so happy we actually got to see Supergirl.
Yes,
in the actual just there in her suit.
We still don't know who she is.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
Part of me was hoping that we'd get like a glimpse of like Reverse Flash.
Oh, me too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was so hoping that's almost what I was hoping, like who would step out in front of the house instead of Barry. It was going to be, we'd see a yellow boot. I was like, is it going to be a yellow boot? And it wasn't. But even though I was hyping myself up a little too much, I still absolutely love this.
I'm with you. I was thinking the exact same thing at the exact same moment.
Yeah.
Especially when he goes to see his mom, you think, whoa. I mean, so they're going kind of Flashpoint, but veering off on a tangent, which is just...
Yeah, it looks like, to me, it looks like they're going to use the same catalyst.
Yeah.
Like he's probably going to save his mom. You know, we don't actually know how she dies, I don't think, in this version. So it may involve, Reverse Flash. It may not. Who knows? But I feel like the catalyst is going to be the same, but it's just going to go in a very different direction. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't have, to me, it doesn't need to be the same. I already know the Flashpoint storyline.
Yeah.
I would like something new to surprise me. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that.
So invested. That was a real highlight of the whole evening. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So next up, we got another different universe, I guess you could say, of DC with Injustice. And they showed I couldn't find the clip online. I don't know if it's on there now, but I wasn't able to find. They did a little sneak peek. But we can kind of talk about it. They showed essentially how it all kind of comes to fruition with the Joker and Harley gassing Superman with kryptonite laced fear toxin, which I thought was brilliant. He takes who he thinks is Doomsday straight into space, and it's not Doomsday. And I was like, oh no. And it's I'm assuming it is Lois.
Yes.
The hair is
she's not read the comics, or
I have not read the comics.
Oh,
no,
dude.
Yeah, I know some stuff about it.
Love this film.
But I'm like, I'm assuming that is supposed to be her, and that now I assume you've read it.
Yeah.
Is the way it's being done the same, or is it very different? Like, does Superman kill her?
Yes.
Okay. I like the idea of Joker and Harley putting a trigger bomb on her heart that just sets off a nuke and takes out everything.
Yeah. So not only does he kill Lois, he destroys Metropolis.
And it winds up, obviously, Superman blames himself.
Yeah. But obviously he blames Joker more.
Yeah.
Hence, you've seen the trailers where he literally hands it to the Joker. Yeah.
Yeah. So
heart-wrenching stuff.
I happen to have Injustice, and we'll be watching it tomorrow. Maybe tonight. I don't know if I can.
See, I think you'd enjoy it more than I did because you haven't read the comics.
Yeah,
because
that's why I don't read the books if I know a movie's coming.
Yeah,
and if I haven't read the book yet, I don't read the book until after I've seen it for that exact reason.
My one gripe with the movie is it's 90 minutes when it should have been 2 or 3 films to match the scope and the grandeur of the comics. But if you haven't,
I've heard other people say that. Yeah,
it's an awesome adaptation. If you haven't read it, you're really going to enjoy it. But yeah, that's one for you, not for the kiddies. Oh no.
Oh yeah. So I really liked that clip. It hooked me definitely. So I will definitely be watching that. And
you're going to love what Superman does with Joker.
That's sweet. All right, next up, this is a movie that I have been really excited about. I'm sure that you are as well, and that is Blue Beetle. Yeah, we got the star
representation.
Yeah, and they talked a bit about like what we can kind of expect from this movie, and we got some concept art for his, for Jaime in his suit, which we have right here, which is it's so good. I love the Cord Industries building the background. The suit looks fantastic. If it looks anything like the concept art in its final product, I'm going to be super, super happy with it because I love this. So, Steve, tell me your thoughts on this Blue Beetle movie.
Everything is pointing to it being handled properly. The way the writer and the director were talking about what it means to them, family values, the whole thing about how Spider-Man hid his identity from Aunt May. Good luck trying that in a Latin family. He is so right. They know more about your life than you do. Believe me. Yo lo sé. Es mi vida. I know this stuff. It's real. And the fact, I'm so glad you put that picture up out of all of them, Josh, because Cord Industries, the second Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes, the third Blue Beetle. Are we going to get a hint of Dan Garrett, the original Blue Beetle who discovered the scarab in Egypt? Because the beautiful thing about the Blue Beetle story, just like all the other legacy heroes DC has, is that scarab affects people in different ways. Dan Garrett, he loved superheroes and adventures, so he literally became square-jawed, muscle-bound superhero. Ted Cord was a scientist and a thinker, and he thought it didn't affect him at all, but it did boost his mental abilities to help him create the Blue Beetle gear. And with Jaime Reyes, someone who probably grew up with Spider-Man and Iron Man and all these other characters, he literally became the suit of armored Blue Beetle. It will affect each hero in a different way. The fact we saw that Ted Cord poster means hopefully we'll see the whole legacy of the character.
That'd be awesome.
The whole Latin thing for me is just my life, so I can't wait for that. Dude, so many positives. Again, I don't have any qualms or any fears or any doubts. What did you think?
Oh, I'm so excited for this. I love that they're going with Jaime instead of Ted. And I think, I'll be honest, I think the reason that they were able to do this without a lot of push is because of what Marvel did with Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Because they did the same thing. They went with the second one instead, and it worked. And so them getting that chance, I think this will be a more interesting Blue Beetle. I mean, to me, he is a more interesting Blue Beetle than Ted Cord. I like Ted Cord, but Jaime's always been, maybe it's just because I grew up in his time. You know what I mean? Like how I grew up with Kyle Raynor, and you know what I mean? Like he was kind of my Green Lantern at the time.
Dan Garrett.
Yeah. So I feel like that could be a big reason for me why I think he's just a better version of this character. And I never thought we'd actually even get a Blue Beetle standalone movie. Like I thought maybe he might be a side character in some other movie or in one of the TV shows or something. But I never in a million years thought we'd get this. And I am so excited and thrilled that we are. So I'll be opening night. I'll be going and I'll be seeing this.
We've said it about DC though. They just want the biggest, widest, most diverse audience possible. Kids, grown-ups, horror, sci-fi, people of color, Latinos, representation. they've got an audience for every single thing they put out, and that's why, to me, I think they'll always be my favorite. They're just killing it right now. Brad, thank you for popping in. It'd be a great time to be a DC fan.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of things that I grew up on, I talked a little bit about growing up with Blue Beetle. Well, I also grew up with Smallville. And they did a nice little 20th kind of anniversary thing. I did not realize that today is 20 years to the day from the premiere of Smallville. I did not even realize that, and I think that's awesome that FanDome wound up on that day. Part of me wonders if they picked that day on purpose. I don't know. Maybe. Either way, that's fantastic. We got Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum. They're talking about the show. We got like some little short messages from a lot of the other cast, including John Glover, Kristen Kruick, Sam Witwer, a whole lot of the people throughout the series. And I gotta say, I loved Smallville. It was one of my favorite shows, and just getting to kind of relive a little bit, with these two guys and hear them talk about their time on the show was fantastic. What did you think about it?
That show was the template. That show was the first TV show that married soap opera, teen angst, comic book superheroes. It was, when it first aired, I was a little bit put off by it because I was hoping for another Superman show. And what I got was like X-Files 90210. Yeah. But in the years since, rewatching it, Rosenbaum, sorry to all the other actors who've played the character, but Rosenbaum to me is the Lex Luthor, number one of all time. Awesome. Welling, as Rosenbaum said in that interview, the perfect mixture of vulnerability, wide-eyed innocence, and real heroism. Again, wonderful Superman. And seeing them both together again, oh man, as a Smallville fan, you must have loved that. The fact that they're working on new Smallville stuff together right now, what's there not to be happy about? Fantastic.
Right?
Fantastic.
Yeah. I saw somebody on Twitter put out a suggestion that these guys need to get together and do like an animated continuation of Smallville. And I would absolutely love that. Like maybe use some of the stuff they did in the comics.
Yeah.
Season 11. Season 11 comics. I want that really bad now.
You and several million others, my friend.
Yeah.
Where do I sign?
Right? Yeah, I think, come on, HBO Max, just get on that. I think that's gold right there. I think a lot of people would be into that quite a bit. So
it's
maybe
a no-brainer.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with it. No matter what, I'm excited if they do anything with it. I was just excited to see this little panel. So hopefully we'll get more.
Great. Absolutely great.
All right. Next up, we'll talk a little bit about Gotham Knights. We got a new trailer for that. They also did a little behind the scenes featurette. What did you think about everything? I know you said you don't really do a lot of gaming, but what did you think about this trailer?
What I love is the way they build a real universe, a real living, breathing world around these games. It's not literally like, the video games I grew up with, Pac-Man and Space Invaders, like that's it, Donkey Kong. And these games now, some of them have got better writing, better acting, better characterization than a lot of movies.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as you have a world where Batman and Jim Gordon are dead, and it's Nightwing, Red Hood, Batgirl who are leading the charge, and then throw in the Court of Owls, come on, that is video game gold right there. Yeah. And what I love about these whole, I look at all these games as other Earths, other variations in the multiverse. I think it's all real, it's all canon, it all happened. And the whole Omniverse thing that's going on in DC where you decide which universe you like, this is just another step on that path. And that what we saw, that trailer, that behind the scenes stuff, this game looks sick. It looks unbelievable. And I've seen, again, my boy playing the Arkham games, and it's like being Batman. Now you can be Nightwing. Now you can be Red Hood. Now you can be Batgirl. Thank you, DC.
I love that they're bringing the Court of Owls in because I loved that storyline. That was one of my favorite kind of recent storylines that they did during that. And then they had been teasing. There had been teasers and rumors that Court of Owls was going to be some sort of video game for years now.
Forever.
And we're finally getting to see what all of these rumors have led to, what they've been building toward, and it looks phenomenal. Just the brutality of the Talons in the trailer.
Those animal-like ones.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, I was sold just on that. I liked the gameplay footage and stuff from last year at FanDome. That it looked really cool. But this trailer, I think, really sold me a bit more on what they're bringing to this game. So I'm really excited.
Pumped.
All right. Next up, we're going to go into the TV world a little bit with Batwoman. That's right. We got a new season of Batwoman. They gave a little sneak peek of this coming season, kind of centered around Batwoman and Alice, who I love Alice. And season 2, man, I loved it. Black Mask was incredible.
Yeah.
Black Mask is one of my favorite DC villains. And
So
I liked
underrated.
what they did with Birds of Prey, but Batwoman, to me, that was Black Mask, hands down. I just, that was exactly what I wanted in the Birds of Prey movie more, was that type of Black Mask, that just real vicious, calculated gangster type of person. So yeah, I was really thrilled with what they did, and they didn't squander it in that. And then they talked a bit about Batwing and kind of gave a history of that. Are you excited to see what they do with Batwing in this upcoming season?
I'm excited for anything to do with Batwoman. Chatting with guys online, shout out to Colin Gunn if you're watching or listening. People say quite horrible things about some of the Arrowverse shows, and say what you will about Batwoman, they get their villains spot on, perfect. Alice, awesome. Sapphire, awesome. Black Mask, as you said, wow. I mean, evil, psychotic, but still human. How they can get that in a villain is great. I mean, I was disappointed we didn't see more Mad Hatter, or, I mean, have you seen the pictures of Killer Croc?
I did, yes.
Dude.
Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So,
and we're getting Poison Ivy as well.
Yeah. And again, perfect casting. You look at the actress, you look at Poison Ivy and separated at birth. What? Straight off the comics page. But I have to say that you edit our shows. When Ruby Rose stepped away and they said that they were going with a different Batwoman, I thought, well, hang on. Kate Kane is Batwoman. But Javicia Leslie, her enthusiasm, her exuberance, her love, her passion. Season 2 killed season 1, stone dead. It was superb. So yeah, I'm all in for season 3. Can't wait.
Yeah, I also was worried when Ruby Rose left the show and they brought in someone new, and I was like, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Because Kate Kane is Batwoman to me. Yeah. The new 52 Batwoman series, I fell in love with that character.
Absolutely.
I didn't really know much about her before that or anything. That is where I read all those issues and absolutely loved that character. And so when I heard the TV show was coming, I was like, this is fantastic. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
And then she was gone after one season. I was like, oh, come on. But Javicia Leslie has really stepped it up and made it, made this character her own. And I've really enjoyed watching her kind of grow as Batwoman. And yeah, like you said, the character Alice is a fantastic villain. I hope that she gets back. I love season 2, but I think she was better in season 1. She was vicious. She no mercy in season 1, and that's the way I want her. I hope she can go back to a bit of that in season 3. That's what I'm.
I like the dynamic of her being like a consultant, though. That's really different because these are two men that hate each other, being forced to work together, and that's going to make for some really interesting TV. So, I'm all in for that totally. But kudos to Visha, because now Ryan Wilder is becoming a thing in the comics as well. Only 2 appearances so far, but brilliantly handled. And Cecil Castellucci as a writer, please let her develop more. And if we can keep Kate as well, I mean, we've got 3 Batgirls at the moment.
Yeah,
with Barbara,
we got like
Cass,
a
and
billion
Steph,
Robins
so
and a bunch of Wonder Women. Why not?
we know Batman's going to leave Gotham in the near future, and his gang are going to be running the town in his absence. So, loads of scope for storytelling. Really cool on TV and in the comics. Love it.
Yeah, super excited for it. All right, so we went from a Batwoman to a Catwoman with Catwoman Hunted, the new upcoming animated film. And we got a little trailer for it, which I want to take a look at here.
So good.
Yeah, I love that we're getting animated movies for characters that don't tend to get like the spotlight. You know, they tend to just be kind of side characters or part of somebody else's story. Like Catwoman is usually just part of Batman's story, and I'm loving that she's getting her own story here, and I'm excited to watch this one with you.
This made me happy. This trailer really did, and the fact that we've got a whole new style as well. This is whole manga style.
This kitten's always
speaking of
ready for
Batwoman,
action.
Right at the beginning,
You're even more
and it's Kate.
gorgeous in person.
Multiple countries have warrants out for your arrest.
I'm popular.
This little kitten sauntered into the lair of the wrong big cat.
I thought this was supposed to be a party.
I love her attitude.
My kind of party.
Yeah, and the voice.
Minerva is built a Leviathan crime syndicate. It's
And
now rich.
Leviathan,
You help us bust Leviathan. Your warrants disappear.
So is that Talia speaking with the English accent?
Must
maybe.
die. I did not sign up for this. Did you sign up for this? You really
And
had
all
to
these
think
beast
about that?
creatures lead me back to thinking to that Blue 52 era Batwoman story in the
Don't make me fight
Crime
dirty.
Bible and those people.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, we got Cheshire.
yeah.
I didn't
And
catch
you
it.
love the music. Sounds a lot like the old Batman.
Yeah. Even the style of the trailer itself is real like that. I love this.
Costume. Hold on to that one, love, or I might
The
just
old
throw
the
it away.
classic Catwoman kind of outfit with the cape.
So good.
Yeah,
When I first saw the character design, I was a little bit worried because I appreciate manga anime, but I'm not the biggest fan. I thought, why going down that route? But for Catwoman and seeing that trailer, it works.
Yeah.
It
What
looks
did you think of
good.
the animation? It had an almost anime flavor
Yeah.
to it, but it wasn't quite anime. You know what I mean? Which I thought was interesting. Because anime is real
Interesting and
divisive.
different.
Like the art style is real divisive with people. Like you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
And I like the art style of anime. I'm not the biggest fan of the directorial style of anime and the way the
same.
the story writing style, because sometimes it just gets too goofy for me. Like Batman Ninja, I liked most of it and I love the design, but some of it was just I was like, this is too much for me.
Yeah.
So I like that it's the art style, but it doesn't seem like it's the written style or the directorial style of anime. So I'm actually really looking forward to this one quite a bit. But that's not the only animated film that they announced during this little section.
Oh no.
They announced a whole slate for 2022. We got a Green Lantern one, Green Lantern Beware My Power. We got Battle of the Super Sons. We got a Teen Titans
Damien
Go
John.
and DC Superhero Girls crossover movie.
That's
We
a match
got-
made in heaven.
Yeah. We got Constantine House of Mystery, the short, which will
With
lead
Matt Ryan.
their new showcase. And then Batman, the Long Halloween Deluxe Edition in 4K. So I'd like to hear some of your thoughts on some of these announced titles.
Let me start with Long Halloween because having interviewed Tim Sheridan recently, who wrote both films,
He's such a cool dude.
He's a lovely guy.
I love that guy.
Top and an amazing writer. He's already said that the deluxe edition is both movies joined into one.
Yeah.
So it's a feature length. Long
so it'll be like
movie.
the Death and Return of Superman.
Yeah,
is what it was called.
Yeah. You'll get a chance to watch them as separate films if you want to, but there's a branched version which is the entire film as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been. So I was going to buy the individuals because Long Halloween is one of my favorite stories of all time, and I'm usually the first one to say I hate when they change things, but I actually appreciate and understand why they've changed what they've changed for the new version, and loved it.
Yeah, I don't mind I don't mind them changing things as long as they do it in a good way.
Yeah,
you know, like what was it? Hush. I feel like that one, like that was an unnecessary change. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that was an example of not a good way to change something.
I mean, they basically just removed one of the greatest new Batman villains of recent years and just made him Riddler. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, it was not as bad as the whole first 20 minutes of Killing Joke, but
the Killing Joke part of it was fantastic.
Yeah, the bit that was the book was great, but the first Batgirl story, like, hello.
Yeah, it was awkward and
wrong.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I don't know why that was necessary, but I'm super excited for this Green Lantern one. We've gotten Green Lantern animated stuff a long time ago. I think there were two of them. There was Emerald Knights. And there was another one, I think. But because Green Lantern is my favorite, you know, it's just the entire core. Like that's where I love, and to know that I'm getting a
Green
new
Lantern
one.
movie. I don't know why people hate on that movie so much. I don't think there's anywhere near as much wrong with it as people talked about. I mean, Oa was awesome. The core were awesome.
All that
Sinestro
stuff was great.
was perfect.
It had some writing problems, some story issues. I've seen far worse movies though, so I'm not gonna say yeah. Very, very much so. I'm personally excited for the Teen Titans Go DC Superhero Girls one. I think that'll be really cool. And Constantine getting a short. Like, I love the shorts that they do. There was one on, I think it was last year's showcase, or I don't remember if it came out earlier this year. It was the last showcase that they did. It was the Death short.
That's one I really need to catch. I need to see that on the Sandman.
The best DC short that I have ever seen.
Wow.
I got emotional watching it.
Which movie is that on? Because I'll buy the movies for the short.
I don't honestly, I don't remember which one it's separately on. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah.
Because I know it's just because I have the it's on Death in the Family, because that was the showcase.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I watched it, because I got the Death in the Family Blu-ray, and but I'm not sure which actual other movie it was on. But yeah, find that one and watch it. It is an incredible, emotional
Family. I'd get that anyway because it's Batman. So job done.
Yeah, I like Death in the Family. I prefer because it's the interactive one.
Yeah.
So you got to have the Blu-ray, because the streaming versions are not interactive, and you got to be able to pick. It's. I thought it was really fun to go through it. But yeah, check out that Death one. Definitely.
Well, you know how I feel about the Sandman universe.
Mm-hmm. That's
just my jam.
It's so incredible, and because I mean, you know that I just recently read the first Sandman. So I didn't know much of anything about. I didn't really know anything about this character before I watched it, and I was blown away by how good the short is. I still think about it occasionally. So definitely check that out. All right, let's see. We also got a 100 100 episodes in 100 minutes. Kind of teaser trailer for Legends of Tomorrow, which was really cool. What did you think of the? Are you caught up on Legends? Is it a show that you watched?
Yes, absolutely. Because for me, it's like the PG Doom Patrol. It's crazy. It's bonkers. It's silly, but it's so much fun. Characters who are characters. It can go anywhere. I mean, the whole time travel element, which is why I love Doctor Who, is every week it can be a different show. A Western one week, a puppet show the next, a horror the next. It's just a show that, oh man, it's a gift that keeps on giving. So, yeah.
I thought it was a brilliant idea to do essentially 1 second per episode, even though technically at like episode like 80 something, they held the scene, they kept going with that one scene, which I thought was really funny. But just being able to see these like clips and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, that was a great episode. Just reliving in a minute and a half the entire series of the show was fantastic. It was a great way to kind of get me ready for the 100th episode. I thought that was fantastic.
Can't wait to see what they pull out for episode 100. Will Bebo return?
Oh, he better return, man. It seems like everybody else is returning, just from like the images that they've shown, like this whole, like all the previous cast seem to be coming back. So if I don't get at least some sort of reference of Bebo, I will be upset.
You will not be alone.
All right. So we've talked about a lot of movies. We got another one coming that we don't know a whole lot about, but I'm super excited. And it's Batgirl. Yes.
My girl.
So they revealed a few things here. She will, in fact, have red hair and a cowl. A lot of people were worried about that. It's going to be loaded with action. And they showed us a little bit of concept art for it. Which is right here. Look at that.
Man, that is beautiful.
Right?
The clock tower, the gargoyle. I mean, you can see that one day that clock tower will be a home as Oracle, possibly. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Excited is not the word.
Super, super excited. It's like this and that Blue Beetle movie. I'm just like, give me more. I want more content on it. I want to see something. I'm itching to get something more from these movies because we don't have a lot, Like we know that J.K. Simmons is playing Gordon as her father, James Gordon, in this movie, but we don't actually know if the Batman of her universe is Affleck or not. Like you'd think it should be.
Or do we? Did you see some of the tweets and Instagram stuff the directors have been putting up?
I did not. I guess something a little surprise for me.
Yes. I mean, it's teases. I mean, it's nothing concrete, but a couple of interviews with the directors, they've said that the Batman who will appear in the film is the Batman, which some people might think, oh, hang on, then that's Robert Pattinson. How can that work? But there's a scene where you've got one of the directors looking at costumes, and front and center, and it's hashtag Batman, is Ben Affleck's cowl.
Oh, okay.
So that tied in with the Batman, which to me, even though I was one of the first to say Ben Affleck is Batman, really, for me, Ben Affleck is the movie Batman. I know I
agree.
It's a decision. It's a opinion that a lot of people don't like, but that's my opinion. I think he's perfect. And J.K. Simmons coming back, it's got to be our boy Ben.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It gives me a lot of hope because, like, Affleck's in the Flash movie, and if he's in this, it gives me hope that maybe we will get that eventual Affleck Batman movie down the road, or just more with him in the universe.
Deathstroke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Just give it to me.
Yeah.
I need to see that. Manganiello, I mean, that little tiny bit that we got, is fantastic. And I'm so excited for anything that they want to bring to it.
And the fact it's full cowl, red hair, Barbara Gordon, not Barbara Wilson, consign Alicia Silverstone to history. Though I love her, lovely lady, not Batgirl.
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't related to Jim Gordon. I ain't counting it. Sorry, that? Alfred. Sorry, not happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we got some Titans stuff going on here.
Season
We got
4.
we got a little exclusive clip of the season 3 finale, which was really cool. It was Gar and who was it, Tim, which was really cool, and talking to Nightwing, trying to, I think it was like the security system. It seemed like, and you don't want to cut the red wire, but it makes sense to me that Batman would make the wire that needs to be cut the red wire, because like you never want to cut the red wire. That's the one it's got to be for him. Yeah, which is fantastic. And the fact that his question code is Selena Kyle, it's like that was a great little reference to it. Yeah. And I love that just Tim is becoming more part of the team. You know,
and
I've
it's showing
loved
him as a detective. It's showing him as a problem solver. It's showing him as someone who uses his brain, which to me is why I'm the biggest Tim Drake mark in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm about a decade older than you. So I watched Dick Grayson leave the manor, stop being a child, become Nightwing. So to me, even though he was the first, I will always see Dick Grayson as Nightwing, stepping out of his mental shadow. I saw Jason Todd come in. I saw a different Jason Todd come in. Him die and become Red Hood.
Yeah.
But the one Robin who is always been Robin, even when Damian came along, is Tim Drake. And he, in Batman's own words, is a detective who will surpass Batman. He's the one that Batman wants to take over as Batman when he eventually dies or retires. I mean, these are Batman's words from the comics, not my own.
Yeah.
So seeing that they've cast someone and they're writing Tim as that same smart, level-headed, problem-solving dude who knows who the one enemy that got away from Batman is. Brilliant. Simple, excellent writing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've loved what they've done with this season for the most part. There's a couple of things I'm like, why did you do that? I'm so angry, but I'm really excited to see where it all goes in the end. So, and we got the confirmation that they will be coming back for season 4. So that is super exciting, because I'll take it as long as they want to make them. I will watch it.
Ditto.
All the way.
Oh yes.
All right. Speaking of another HBO Max rated R DC show, we got Harley Quinn the animated series. We haven't heard much of anything from this show in a while. You know, it's been so long, but now we got some stuff. This whole little bit with Harley and King Shark, just kind of like vamping because the animation wasn't ready,
and it's been in development since the 70s.
Yeah, and then HBO Max finally got them a trailer, but it's like all unfinished stuff. It's just like animatics and stuff, which is awesome. And I love that. I love like where they're going with this story. It looks really cool. I mean, the first 2 seasons are incredible.
Absolutely,
it's an amazing animated show. If you guys aren't watching it, as long as you're of age, definitely watch it.
Absolutely.
It's so good. What did you think of the whole thing? Not just the little trailer part, but the stuff with like her and King Shark, and then the stuff with Kite Man at the end as well. Kind of bookending the trailer.
We love this show, all of us. Hence, we've got a podcast that's centered around this show. I mean, it's no secret. For me, the greatest animated series of all time is Batman the Animated Series, but this one comes a very, very, very close second, even though it's miles apart. It's different.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you cannot compare the two in terms of tone, but this little snippet with Katie Cuoco hamming it up to the 9s as Harley, and King Shark, who I love. I just want to hug him. I don't care if he could bite my head off. Ron Funches.
He's my favorite version of King Shark.
Brilliant.
He's so
brilliant.
Good.
I love him.
Yeah.
And the whole thing where they're literally being as irreverent to their own show as they are to anything else is just gorgeous. I love it, and can't wait to talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's cool because like you talked about, we've talked about multiple times now how DC likes to branch to all ages. We talked about a show like Bat Wheels aimed at preschoolers, and now we're talking about a show like Harley Quinn, which is so incredibly R-rated.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous. It would make Bat Wheels hide, out of sheer embarrassment. Or
they'd never leave the cave.
Yeah, they would be so traumatized. And you mentioned your favorite and also my favorite animated show, Batman the Animated Series. Well, we have a little something from Bruce Timm with Batman Caped Crusader, the new Batman animated series from Bruce Timm coming out. I'm excited for this. We got Bruce Timm involved, J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, all involved. And Bruce Timm in this little video said that this series will be more Batman the Animated Series than Batman the Animated Series. And I was like, okay, that's a bold statement. That's very bold. Apparently, this one will be the early years of Batman. Starts off real low tech, and it will have a real heavy film noir inspiration to it. So, what did you think about everything that we've seen so far for this? We haven't seen a ton, but we have seen, we got this shot here from the poster, which I love the look, the giant ears, original Batman style. So I'm pretty, and it's still that Batman the Animated Series vibe, which I love. So yeah, I'd love to get your thoughts.
As soon as I heard Bruce Timm say those words, which you brilliantly quoted, more Batman the Animated Series than Batman the Animated Series, and then he said the series that I would have liked to have made back then had I been allowed, in terms of this, unlike the Superman animated show we spoke about earlier, which seems to be young teens based, this is going to be, I think, not quite Harley Quinn, where it's mature audiences who are really immature. This is going to be mature audiences who are mature and a stripped back Batman, none of the gadgets, still learning the ropes, ties in with what Matt Reeves is doing with his movie. But also the whole 40s Bob Kane, Jerry Robinson, Bill Finger Batman that I still love, that I can read all day. It's win-win. It's today's Batman style and animation, but with vintage Batman. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah. I mean, having it, just to even be in that similar style to Batman the Animated Series has got me I gotta see this. Like I don't care. This is definitely a show I'm gonna be watching. I don't know when it's supposed to come out, but I'll be there no matter what.
When I Am the Night finishes, guess what's taking over?
Nice. Very nice. So we also got another animated show to talk about here, and that is Young Justice. It's been real quiet on this show for quite a while, but we got a sneak peek of season 4, and they revealed that the first episode is available right now on DCFanDome.com to watch, which I think is awesome that they did that. I think it comes out either later this month or at the beginning of November. I can't remember the exact date of when it comes up, but it's soon, real soon. Within the next few weeks, the series will drop. What did you think about the sneak peek that we got?
We said Batman the Animated Series, Harley Quinn. This could be the third in the top 3 animated series from day one. I've loved Young Justice. The way it's managed to adapt decades worth of stories into an animated series. And while it's changed a lot, the atmosphere, the way it honors the past is brilliant. And the Aquaman we have now, Jackson Hyde, stemmed from this show. So many things have come out of this show that have now become comics canon. And to see season 4 finally, because it seems like forever since season 3, because that was still DC Universe, wasn't it? That was even before HBO Max.
Yeah.
Anything that involves these characters, Nightwing as a leader, anything that involves Zatanna, I mean, Artemis. I love these characters. I mean, they
Yeah,
are, again,
absolutely.
this is a teen show that will work for teens and for comic book nerds like us who've loved these characters since day one. Can't wait. I love Young Justice. I think this whole series is brilliant. Bring on season 4. The sooner the better. Tomorrow, I will be watching episode 1 on HBO.
Right?
Max.
Yeah,
Believe
absolutely.
it.
I'm so
Believe
excited for this. I fell in love with that the first episode of the first season. I was like, this is my show, man. I am hooked.
Absolutely.
And it's been like 2 years since season 3.
Yep.
And I'm like, I need this. So I'm really glad that we only got to wait a couple more weeks to get more of it. And I mean, heck, I could get off this call and go watch it right now if I wanted to.
Absolutely.
You know, so if you guys are enjoying Young Justice, head over to DCFanDome.com after our live stream and check out that first episode and let us know what you think. All right, so next up, we got a show that I don't know a lot about because I did not read the comics on this one. So I'm hoping that you may have and can inform me a bit more. And that's DMZ. It sounds really cool. Like the premise, you know, we're in the country's in the midst of a second civil war. And that just, I mean, it's very kind of timely with everything going on over here. So it sounds really awesome. I don't know a lot about it. So Steve, educate me.
It's everything you've said. I mean, what I loved about DMZ is the way that it's probably more timely, as you said, now than it was when it first came out. It was very prophetic. It's like it saw where America could go under the wrong leadership, under the wrong influences. And that's basically the premise of the entire series. I mean, you did you read No Man's Land, the Batman series?
No, I have not.
Where Gotham was separated from
I know
the rest
like
of
the
states
premise of it
after-
and everything, and I've seen like adaptations of it. Obviously, like they did it on Gotham and stuff like that. But yeah,
So I thought that DMZ was like, oh, come on, I've seen this in Gotham with Batman. But obviously, Gotham and Batman, pure fiction. This is New York. This is the real world. This is a place you know because you live around the corner. Brad was there at the beginning of this live stream.
Yeah.
That's what elevates this series because you're seeing real situations, real places that you've been to, that you spent time in, destroyed. And literally every block you go through is a different gang, a different leader, a different danger. Dude, this show, the fact that it's a mini series that you can just devour and sit all in one, the fact that Ava DuVernay is involved, that's enough for me. That's enough for me. They've changed a few things. It seems to be like both an adaptation of the comic and a prequel to the comic, which is great because, again, I am getting something new. I'm just going to get something that I've read and know all about. I'm invested as a new viewer as well as someone who liked the original comics. So awesome. Cool. It's a possible future. And this is what I love about Ava DuVernay is also a future that isn't that far away if things progress. So, dude,
I think you sold me, man. I'm in. And I love Rosario Dawson. So I'm in for that. But you mentioned Ava DuVernay. This isn't the only show she's working on. She's also working on Naomi, which we got to see a little teaser for as well, like a little like a scene, a clip from a scene of some sort of stunt going on, something happening with Superman, and she just books it out of class, skateboarding. I love the scene of her skateboarding down the school hallway. Thought that was really cool. And then she gets there and something happens. Do we know? I don't know. Guess we'll have to watch and find out. But what did you think of this little teaser?
Again, while Mr. Bendis is a divisive creator, especially among our own contingent of writers on our sites.
So true.
One thing I will say is I loved Naomi season 1. I'm looking forward to season 2 if it ever comes, because it seems like he's slowly slowing down on what he's producing for DC. But Naomi was one thing, that and Batman Universe, that I've really enjoyed that he did for DC. Superman, let's not go into it. But the fact that
It's a good thing
Ava
Matt's
DuVernay
not
is-
here. He'd be going totally
Oh,
off on that Superman
yeah,
one.
well, him and I are of a like mind when it comes to that particular subject. But Naomi, I loved it. I mean, again, largely because of the art. Jamal Warner, was it the artist? What a talent!
Yeah, I think so.
The visuals are terrific, and the casting for this show. I mean, she could literally have been taken off the comics page and put on screen.
Yeah.
Just like Jamisha Leslie, her excitement, her enthusiasm, the fact she went out and read all the comics, she's invested. Slight little surreal quality to the clip we got was nice too. Have you read any, Naomi?
I have not.
Okay. She doesn't know she has powers. She falls across her whole origin, and it's a neat little twist on Superman's.
Okay.
She feels a kinship to the Man of Steel, and that's what I'm going to say. Don't read the comics, watch the show, then read the comics. I think, again, this is going to be one of those like Stargirl, which you're going to watch and go, I like this. So
all right.
That's my
I love that we get like a quick shot of Superman flying across the sky right before she like passes out. I thought that was cool. Do we know if this is, because it's on the CW, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is it part of the CW verse? Do we know whether or not?
I don't know.
Is that Tyler Hoechlin's Superman? You know,
I hope so, because she's very much part of the DC universe. I mean, she's actually a member of the Justice League as we speak. So that would be cool. But the impression I got was it'd be a bit more like Black Lightning. It would be its own thing. But
because like
is its
we
own
talked about how all these shows are ending, and they have to kind of start bringing in a new like the Superman verse or whatever. Maybe she could be part of that. I think that from the way you've described it, I think she might fit pretty well. Then,
but the thing is. I think we'll talk about it later. Probably Jim Lee's teaser with the drawings that made up the giant jigsaw puzzle. I
don't have it specifically on the list, so if you want to talk about it, go right ahead.
Well, Jim Lee's been doing these sketches which form up to make a new version of the classic double-page Crisis on Infinite Earths issue 1 cover, but with different characters. And the way things are going with the Omniverse and things like that, I'm actually thinking now that, well, we've already seen Ezra Miller appear in an episode of The Flash.
Yeah.
We already know that Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck are going to be appearing in the Flash movie. I've got a feeling that the Omniverse isn't just going to be the comics anymore. It's going to be everything.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve, Brandon Routh, Superman, it's all going to be one universe. So even though Stargirl is currently separate, Black Lightning was separate, another show I'm so sad has ended, Supergirl is ending, I've got a feeling it's going to be one giant universe. And I've even got a feeling it's going to cross over with the comics somehow.
That would be pretty awesome.
That's what I
do like the idea of that. So, all right, we are starting to wind down here. We only got a few more topics to talk about. Our next one is going to be Shazam: Fury of the Gods. I loved the first Shazam, and we got a little behind the scenes featurette, kind of mixed with some footage. Which I kind of want to watch with you if you're up for it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's give that
a
little look-see. Because, like I said, we didn't get a trailer, but there is footage in this, behind the scenes, stuff that we have not seen yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to kind of talk about it a bit. All right, here we go.
Their life was being superheroes.
This is where you hang out with your superhero friends, isn't it?
These goddesses come to our world.
Our incredible new villains.
Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu in DC movie.
She's kick-ass.
Have I died over there?
So we have mythological creatures.
Minotaurs, harpies, and dragons.
When I talk about upgrades, we got an upgrade, a huge upgrade in the suit. Bigger action sequences, bigger set pieces. We go from Athens to Philadelphia. We go from the Rock of Eternity to the Library of Eternity to the Realm of the Gods. So we get to go to environments that were never explored in the first film.
I'm curious if we'll get any Black Adam references and stuff in this.
Shazam: Fury of the Gods takes the excitement and the action to a whole new level.
It's going to be more of a spectacle.
And you're going to be
this
very
all around.
as well.
You're in store for a treat. Yeah.
Now, Josh, please correct me if I'm
Their
wrong.
life was
but
being superheroes.
do you think that Zachary Levi has trimmed and bulked up a ton since the last movie where he was a little bit chubby and it was the costume that was muscled? He's
absolutely.
become a bit of a beast.
Yeah,
As
I think
for
he
what I can see in
realized
this
because everybody was like railing on him about the padded suit,
Mhm.
you know, and I think he realized if he's gonna portray this character, he needs to bulk up. You know, I mean, you look at guys like John Cena and The Rock. You know, these dudes are huge. You know, and they fill out these suits. Now, yeah, some of them have little bits of formed stuff because you want it to look a very specific way. I get it.
Yeah.
But you could tell that his suit was padded
Yeah.
in that first movie. And so, yeah, I think he did. He was a big guy to start, like just in general, you know, compared to a lot of other people.
Yeah.
But he looks like he got real buff.
Yeah. And that film was such great entertainment. And it's one film you can honestly say that if there's one DC superhero movie that's fit for any audience, it's Shazam.
Yeah.
And now you're throwing the mythological beasts, the gods. I mean, as I said, Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu in a DC movie. Wow. Come on. Awesome.
And they looked fantastic.
Hell yeah. And brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm
really excited to see what kind of horror element he brings to this one, because that boardroom scene in the first one is so good. Yeah, it's so good, and so
and the doors,
the
scene, fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. I'm sad that I got to wait until 2023,
right?
But there's a lot of other stuff in between to keep me, busy.
Such a good time to be a DC fan.
Yeah. All right. So for our penultimate topic here, we got a Wonder Woman spotlight, a little kind of mini panel. We had a conversation with Patty Jenkins and Linda Carter, an official confirmation of Wonder Woman 3, even though, it was essentially been known that it was coming, but they officially put it out there. And not only that, we also got a reveal for a new comics crossover event called Trial of the Amazons, which they revealed an image for.
Beautiful Jen
here.
Bartel drawing. I love her art. She's a legend.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
So, what were your thoughts on this whole thing? It's almost like a week away. Is not even a week. It's like 5 days away. Is Wonder Woman Day on October 21st. And it's her 80th year, this year. So I'm glad that they did something for her. What were your thoughts overall on this spotlight?
I adore Wonder Woman. I have done my entire life. I was lucky enough to be around during the Linda Carter years. I watched it because it was a superhero show. My adult members of my family watched it for a very different reason, which I can now appreciate being an adult myself now. But Linda Carter, I worship her. I think she's a legend. She's great. Seeing her in conversation with Patsy was just amazing. But Wonder Woman, it's what the lady said. She's the only character that can embody everything that's feminine and still be a kick-ass warrior hero at the same time. And that's a hard line to balance. It's a tough trick to pull. I recently read and reviewed the beautiful hardback deluxe 80th anniversary book for DC Comics News. And what blew me away was I hadn't read a lot of the Golden Age stuff in a long, long time. And William Moulton Marston, her creator, was decades ahead of his time in his feminism, his views, his science. The fact that this guy who gave Wonder Woman a lasso of truth is also one of the men who created the polygraph in real life. Scientist, feminist, amazing writer. And seeing the art of H.G. Peter, which to me, forget Bob Kane, forget Joe Shuster. H.D. Peter was the best comics artist of the Golden Age. His design aesthetic, his movement, his physiques, his body language, his storytelling was, again, years ahead of its time. reading those stories again, celebrating 80 years, the only character apart from Batman and Superman who's been in print, who's had new issues and stories printed about her for 80 years. I mean, even when she didn't have her own series, because people say, oh no, but there wasn't Wonder Woman series. She doesn't in she has. She appeared in DC Comics Presents. She appeared in Justice League. She appeared in Justice Society. She appeared. Never has there been a year since her creation that a new Wonder Woman story has not appeared in print in some form.
Yeah.
One of 3 characters you can say that about. That says it in itself. I love Wonder Woman. I think she's the perfect role model for young girls, for actually even for men, knowing how you should be around a woman, how you should act to everyone around you, male, female, LGBTQ, trans, whatever. We're human beings. And she is a warrior, a princess, and a lover as much as she's a fighter, a mother, a sister, a goddess. What more can you say?
Yeah. I think you about summed it up. It was I loved it. And what are your thoughts on this new crossover event, the Trial of the Amazons?
Oh, man, how lucky are we? We've got Fear State going on now with Batman. We've got the Superman where he's going to go off, and John's now the Superman of Earth.
War World.
Yeah. I mean, all the Trinity are going through massive stuff. And unlike the other comic company we mentioned, where you have to read every title they put out, you can just read the Batman titles for the Batman story, the Superman titles for the Superman story, the Wonder Woman titles for the Wonder Woman story, or all of them if you're that way inclined, and you're going to get quality storytelling. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm loving Fear State. I'm going to read the War World stuff, no doubt, because, again, since Bendis has left the Superman titles, I think they've gone up in quality once again. They're almost back to the original Rebirth era under Dan Jurgens and Peter J. Tomasi, which is wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
But this Wonder Woman event, oh man, Hippolyta, Nubia, and Diana, and then you throw in Yara Flor as well, who I've already madly fallen in love with. Brilliant new character.
Yeah.
Special new take, brand new look at a different kind of Wonder Woman. What can I say? It's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to blow people away. I'm hoping. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, because it looks fantastic, and I'm really excited for it.
I'm there.
All right, so Steve, we've talked about a lot of stuff today, but there's been one thing, one big thing that I know you've been really wanting to talk about, and that is the Batman.
The Batman.
So we got a behind-the-scenes featurette as well as a trailer. I want to get your thoughts on that behind-the-scenes featurette before we watch the trailer.
I have to talk about Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
Because this guy, I mean, the word visionary gets thrown around a lot, but just from the films this man has made previously, his eye, his knack for storytelling and character, he is every bit as much about the characters appearing in the film as the backgrounds, as the scene, as the shots, as the light. He's a storyteller.
Yeah.
The only other director I can compare, and this is the highest praise I can give, is Spielberg. He's a storyteller. He's not just about a flashy shot or a glint of light flashing from a camera lens and flaring and slow-mo. While I love visual directors like Ridley Scott and Zack Snyder, I like the storytellers, the people who draw you into the world and into the characters.
Yeah.
And just the way Matt Reeves was talking with Robert Pattinson and with
Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz showed that he's invested in this world he's created. He sees these characters as human beings, as people, flawed as they may be. And that's what's really got my interest, because I'm going to probably shock a lot of people here. I like the Dark Knight trilogy. I still don't think they're anywhere near as good as people make them out to be. There were things that Tim Burton did better in his first 2 films, but then he got a lot wrong too. I think every iteration of Batman we've seen so far has brought something. Affleck's has brought something, but this so far does feel like the most cohesive, the most grounded, and the most human Batman film we've had to date. And twinkly vampires aside, don't judge Robert Pattinson on the Twilight movies.
Dude,
because
he's
honestly,
such a good actor.
He's a great actor.
It's
Watch his indie films. The boy can act. This guy can act.
Yeah.
His Batman voice, great. The way his eyes go dead when you can almost feel a switch between his Bruce Wayne and his Batman just from these snippets. I mean, how?
Speaking of that, Matt Reeves mentioned how at this stage, he still has problems being able to separate that. And I like that concept. You know, the Batmans that we always see in movies, he's been Batman for a while. He knows what he's doing. You know, and even like in Chris Nolan's, he starts and he already knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? I like the idea of him having a hard time separating, you know, and he talked about, you know, he's not sleeping because, you know, he has to have that daytime persona and obviously being Batman at night. So he's not sleeping and he's having a harder time separating Batman and Bruce Wayne because he hasn't figured that out yet. And I'm really excited to see that, to see how Pattinson is able to do that. So I think it's time we watch this trailer.
It's only my third time.
Only the third, you know. It'll probably be like 6 by the time you go to bed.
Oh, yes.
Even though it's super late there for you, and I do appreciate you staying up with me.
Oh, come on. Nowhere else I'd rather be.
All right,
I don't want to live
ready?
in the real world. I want to live in the DC universe.
Exactly. Here we go.
Look at it.
Yes.
Police! Hands up!
Edward.
Stay still!
I love this scene, this opening part. Yes.
All around the world, sticking their fingers in their coffee to do that for me.
My daughter was watching this with me. She's like, "That's the Riddler."
When that light hits the sky,
it's like
it's not just a call.
It's a warning.
It's a warning.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
It's scary. As Batman should
trying to reach you.
Burn to God!
Yes.
This is a powder king. And Riddler's to match.
I can take care of myself.
If this continues, it won't be long before you've nothing
I
left.
love the look of Penguin.
I don't care what happens to me.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
De Niro. I hate De Niro. And so he's
Take it easy, sweetheart.
Colin Farrell disappearing
Thank you.
into the role.
Maybe we're not so different. Who are you under there?
Yes.
I'm vengeance.
my favorite moment.
What's black and blue and dead all over.
I got you!
No, you didn't.
I got you!
He's like, oh no.
Even the music, we finally got a theme that could be up there with Danny Elfman's dun 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 dun. It's very, oh man, it's so Batman.
Yeah,
and more Batman than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, that trailer is just—it's like I love that first trailer, but it was just, it felt kind of pieced together because they didn't have a lot because of COVID and everything. But now, this is so different from what we saw last year at FanDome, and I'm so like, I love that we still don't really get a good shot of Riddler. You know, we see him from behind. We get like a kind of fuzzy half shot of his face on a TV, but we still don't actually get to see him. And I like that they're kind of hiding that. They're leaving the mystery for it. And I'm really excited for it. Let me get all your thoughts, man. I'm excited to hear
everything you just said. I mean, the fact that it's clever. What I love is it's the intelligence behind the writing of this. That they're making Enigma and Enigma. You don't see his face.
Yeah.
How does he go from that innocent-looking little guy in the cafeteria to the guy with the mask who's killing people and leaving clues and all out? It's brilliant. I mean, Penguin is unlike any iteration we've ever seen before, but in some ways, since he stopped being the supervillain that commits crimes in the comics, for the last couple of decades, he hasn't been that. He's been the gangster, the manipulator, the man with the nightclub who is just an honest businessman who's running crime from behind the scenes. That's what I think we're going to get with Colin Farrell's version. This is a Penguin who is getting his own show, allegedly, spin-off. The Gotham show that's coming as well. We can see this whole world, this interweaving universe growing and developing. And this trailer is the first step towards that, because it's a world that doesn't match any Gotham we've seen before, a Batman that doesn't match any Batman we've seen before, because it's a Batman who doesn't even know who he is yet.
Yeah.
That's got me intrigued. I cannot wait to see more.
Yeah. I'm so glad that it's only like 5 months away.
Yeah.
That's it.
Finally.
5 months, man. I'm so excited for it. That trailer was fantastic. I'm sure we'll get one more before.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? At least one more in the next 5 months. And I mean, I don't know what they're going to do to top this one, but because this was a fantastic trailer. So I'm really, really excited.
Can't wait.
So, yeah, that, folks, was DC FanDome. Steve, let me know what your overall thoughts, now that we've kind of talked about everything, your overall thoughts of DC FanDome have been.
Loved it last year, loved it this year. I mean, this year was even more streamlined. It was bordering on faultless. It went from beginning to end without a hiccup, without a hitch.
Yeah.
Every presenter they picked was enthusiastic, knew what they were talking about. The level of creators they got involved, the directors, the writers, the actors. Brad and I, we've said it in the show, I'll say it again now. There's never been a better time to be a DC fan. Comics, TV, movies, streaming, the works. So much great stuff coming this year, next year, the year after. Steps on the ladder. Things are going to grow. Things are going to progress. DC FanDome forever. If this is an annual event, I want it to be a twice annual event. Because
I love that.
How excited are we?
Yeah.
I mean, it was
so
4 hours that flew by in what felt like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I feel like they could easily kind of like have certain things on like a spring show and certain things on a fall show, give them a bit more time to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I would be totally down for, because I mean, it's only the one day. It's not like it'd be like a 3-4 day event twice a year. 1 day, twice a year. Yeah, let's do it. I'd love that. I mean, they technically did that last year. They wound up doing 2.
They split it into 2.
Yeah. So I say let's do that again and just give us more content to devour and get us excited for. So they obviously have a lot coming out. So I think that would be a good idea. Amazing. But so that is it for our episode of the DCN Podcast FanDome special. Steve, let everybody know where they can find you.
DC Comics News. I review a couple of indie titles and a couple of DC titles here and on our sister site, Dark Knight News, which is more Batman focused. I'm on the weekly DC Comics News podcast, sometimes with Joshua, sometimes with Brad, Seth, Kendra, and Kelly. We talk about everything DC, the occasional guest on the Harley Quinn Mad Love podcast too. Check that out for something that's a little bit more risque, shall we say,
Yes.
and read my writing just by searching Steve J. Ray or Fantastic Universes on your search engine of choice for all my news, reviews, and interviews across those sites. And catch me on Twitter. Please talk to me. I love talking anything comics or sci-fi or fantasy related at elstevo, EL_STEEVO. But Josh, Merc, movie fan, comics fan, Doctor Who fan, where can the world find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at JP Raynor. That's JPRAYNOR, as well as on Movie Blog Merc on Twitter at Movie Blog Merc. That's my Twitter page for my site, Merc with a Movie Blog, where I talk all things movies and TV and things like that. And of course, right here on DC Comics News, I'm always slaving away doing something. Sometimes you'll see a written piece from me. I'm also going to be starting up a show soon. I'm going to be starting up my editor's desk show, which I did a little preview for last year around FanDome time, but it's finally going to happen, and it'll be right here on the YouTube channel, so keep an eye out for that. Be sure to check out DC Comics News on Twitter at DC Comics News, on Facebook, Tumblr, YouTube, all the social medias at DC Comics News, and at DCComicsNews.com. Be sure to do that. And also check out our sister site, Dark Knight News. That's right. Got to plug that for you, Steve. It's a great site focused on Batman. I'm sure they'll have a whole lot of stuff about the Batman, the movie going on throughout the next 5 months. So keep an eye on that. With all that said, we only have one last thing that we like to leave you guys with at the end of our broadcasts, and that is to always read more comics. Yes. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you have a wonderful night.